Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk. Bei mir ist heute Rover Critical Minerals, Judson Coulter. Er ist CEO und Direktor von dem Unternehmen und er wird uns die Company jetzt vorstellen. Es geht vor allem um Lithium. Und Lithium hat ja in den letzten, sage ich mal, 18 Monaten nicht unbedingt den besten Run gehabt. Aber ich bin gespannt, wie er uns das schmackhaft macht, dass Lithium trotzdem der Play ist, in dem man sein muss. Yeah, thank you for your time, Judson. I said in my German introduction, you're in the lithium space. And lithium has really a tough time in the last 18 months, I must say. We have a great time between 21, beginning of 22. We're going up like 6 times, 7 times, 8 times higher in the lithium price. And now we see a little kind of frustration into the market. Maybe the e-mobility sales on some cars are not high enough or whatever. But what do you think is really what we have into the market? Why is the lithium price so low at the moment, and why is the market so tough?
Yeah, I think the biggest driver, in my opinion, is just the rollout and sale of the EV vehicles, right? It's just we have a misalignment with high interest rates, which if you're going to buy on a car loan, which many people buy vehicles finance, with interest rates at these levels, especially in North America, they're very high in Canada and the US. And also the price point. I mean, we're a country that loves our SUVs and our full-size pickup trucks. And I guess the banner vehicle is probably the Ford F-150 Lightning. That's $120,000 at, 6% interest financing. So we're still as a company, very long and very bullish on lithium. The reality is, as climate change is not going away, emissions control, whether it be through a hybrid engine or through just a straight EV vehicle, the price will come down. The world has to compete with BYD. BYD is able to produce these cars at such a cheap price because the Chinese control the critical mineral supply. So that's how they're able to produce. And so the US automotive sector, the European automotive sector have to wake up and start incubating both critical minerals mining, but also a competitive product to the Chinese BYD, really offering. And so I think it's that Tesla will adjust. I think General Motors will adjust. I think Ford will adjust. And I think, the big like Daimler Benz and Volkswagen, the big German car makers will all adjust to be competitive. And lithium is, it's used in all kinds of things from, US military drones to electric vehicles to buses to trucks, airplanes, and even in nuclear reactors. So the commodity is a storage of energy. There's just nothing else that competes with it. So we're building a project an hour from Las Vegas, which is a very great location to have a mine. It's close to a livable city. It's got railroads. It's got hydro lines. We're not building a project in the middle of nowhere. So for us, there's real value with just the location and the type of geology that we're in, which is near surface. So this project's a winner. Much like, when we started, Rover was originally a gold company, and we started on an early stage gold project that ended up having one of the highest grade, best drill results in 2020. This is a similar thesis for an excellent lithium project in Nevada, just outside the city of Las Vegas. Tesla's got an abundance of infrastructure in Nevada with the Gigafactory. So we're just very long on lithium, and we're going to keep building this project. And We're supported by two family offices that also have the same vision. One office is in Oslo, Norway, and another office is in close to this Noosa, Australia, which is, I guess, close to Brisbane. So yeah, we're just going about our work, and it's frustrating. The capital markets are depressed on lithium stocks, but I also think that that's just temporary pain, and it's a very good time to accumulate a position. And the lithium industry itself is in its infancy, and there's just going to be wild stock volatility. We're at the down part of that volatility, but when the demand supply pinch comes again, there's going to be massive gains to be had in lithium. It's just such a immature market, and there's just not enough controlled supply on the long-term fundamentals.
As you're coming up with all the car companies, Ford today or yesterday says that his EV car sales going up 86%. And he is very strong believer in the EV market, Ford. So, by the way, and in the meantime, I put your presentation on the screen, and here's the location. And this is and on the same screen or on the same picture, we see the Albemarle project. That's how far is Albemarle to your company? To your project?
Yeah, just in terms of driving speed, let's say if we use German driving speeds, let's say 2 hours, but for us regular drivers, a 2.5 hour drive.
Okay. But this is hard rock. It's not a brine. It's
no, this is clay, so soft
clay.
Rock. It's clay.
Soft, yeah, but it's a rock type of business, and not a leaching type of business.
The clay mining will use a combination of an acid and water, and a roasting. So it's a little bit like leaching.
Okay.
But much cheaper than like spodumene, because spodumene you have to crush rock and underground mine. This is kind of like scooping sand in an open pit, if you will.
Yeah, it looks like when I'm looking on the surface sample, the next page what I have was page 6 on your presentation. That's everybody can find on the website, and it looks like that is like gravel. It looks like gravel, and you put it then on the truck. So, but what is really the timeline? What you must do that you can bring this project to production? If you can bring it to production, on which terms or which price model we think? Can you work with the actual environment on lithium price? Can you work with this project, or you need a higher lithium price?
No, that's a good question. And the answer is yes, we can. The cash cost per ton for this type of geology, all things equal, like we have to continue to do drilling, improve the average grade. But from where we are today on the project, we believe that the cash cost per ton of lithium carbonate equivalent would be about $5,000 US. And with the lithium price at $13,000, it's still more profitable than gold. Even with gold at record high prices, the margins are still better. So and we're also at a low on lithium. So I think a long-term 10 or 15-year price is probably more like $20,000 US per ton. So and this project won't be in production for 5 years. So it's for the lithium investor, the family office, or somebody that wants to accumulate, this is a very good time to put some lithium stocks in your portfolio. So cheap price.
But what are the next steps on this project? So what are the plans? What you must do that you can bring this to production?
Yeah, so we're going through that permitting status right now, and we're just until we have that permit, We're doing just fairly basic level of exploration work. Really, the money is being spent on environmental studies, wildlife studies that will allow us to do a lot more work on the project once we have the permits.
Yeah.
It's being an hour from Las Vegas. We are held to a much higher permitting standard than a project that is in the middle of nowhere with zero infrastructure. Because of so that's it. So that's the value of the project, though. So the value of the permit is totally worth it, and we're just going through that process currently.
But when I look at the environmental thing, when I'm looking at the picture, there is nothing. Besides,
there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just because there's communities that live south of the project. So the number one issue is that we have to do understand how the underground river, how the underground water works. That's the number one issue with this project is understanding the effect of how the water, which is deep. It's like think about, I don't know, for let's say 300 meters, 400 meters below surface, there is an underground water system, and so it's very deep. But that's the biggest, probably the biggest part of our environmental study is just a very comprehensive water flow model for the area.
So, but when I'm start this project from the surface, or is it more underground? But or how
this is a near surface project. Absolutely. So it's mining above the water table, and that's again the value of the project is mineralization is so close.
There is a timeline on the presentation. So it says from August last year to June this year. Is it still accurate? Is this?
That shows all the milestones. Like concurrently, there are value things we can do as a company, and that includes securing the future operations water rights that we need for a mine. And so those are some of the initiatives you see on the timeline that I'm working on currently.
So, and in June, you think you get then, or you hope you get the drill permit? It's always
it's gonna be longer than June. I don't have an updated estimate at this point, but I think it's gonna be most likely not until early 2025.
Okay. Yeah, when you deal with regulations, it's always tough to say.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but then you start drilling, and then and how much you must drill that you can confirm the whole system?
Well, for this type of geology, not a lot. You can have like 10 drill holes is enough, and you will typically, like half a kilometer for holes because it's an ancient lake bed. So the holes are spaced quite far apart, and 10 is enough, kind of thing.
So if everything running fine, and we say, okay, next year and the first half you can drill, and you drill this and you confirm this. So what are the next? How long you think you need for the whole environmental, for the permitting stuff and so on, that we really can think then, okay, now we must look to finance this project for production.
Yeah, so that's that's sort of a 4 to 5 year plan for being in production is and the good news is the environmental studies that we're doing now will save us time when it goes to the next level, which is the permitting. So it's not wasted money by any means. It's just that makes us a little bit different from other junior miners is the level of environmental work we're doing up front is it's because we're so close to the city of Las Vegas. But in the long run, it will save us time because it will save us time when it comes to the.
Okay. We come to the point financing. Exploration cost always money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are the plans to finance the whole exploration, the whole work, the permitting work, the environmental work? What are the ideas for this?
Yeah, so we're supported by two family offices. They're both directors of the company, so they're very active. And one of them is also our president. So Gunnar Peterson, who runs a family office out of Oslo, Norway, and then Patty Moylan, who runs a family office out of Australia. Well, we're sort of trading at low prices. We're really just having seed financing from these key shareholders as we move through. And so that's good. I mean, it allows me as a CEO to really focus just on growing the business and doing the permitting. And we are doing some interesting soil sampling work with some augering, which will improve the confidence of the future drill targets. So there's some meaningful work that we're doing alongside of the permitting work as well on explorations. I'm also doing, building support at the community level, meeting with local politicians, local landowners, getting their endorsement and buy-in for the project is also really important.
Yeah, you have also on your presentation some comparable companies, and we see that you have a very low market cap. Your market cap is under 2 million, so nearly nothing. But what is, to summarize a little bit, what is really the advantage what your company have compared to other ones, and why you think your company is so undervalued?
Yeah, no, the advantage is we have the first mover as a junior miner for lithium in this jurisdiction. And, people knew, I think other groups may have known about the heightened level of permitting. Then that's why this project was available 2 years ago when we got it. But the infrastructure is incredible. So most of our comparable companies are in locations where you need to use such a huge pickup truck just to get through the mud to get to location because there's no infrastructure. This project has hydro, it has roads, it has railways, it has a livable city where like the engineers and can live in Las Vegas and drive to the project for work. So there's no other project that has the level of infrastructure that this project has. Outstanding. So we're certainly probably 4 or 5 years behind some of those competitors or comparables in the presentation, but we also think that that's a good thing because the industry right now, where it's at and where we think it's going to be in 4 years, the timing for this project to show exploration, to show growth in the market, shareholders and should be rewarded. So,
as you says you was previous looking for gold, but you have also a gold legacy. You have some projects. If they have value, or what you're doing with them? Do you spin it out to sell it, or what do you plan for this projects?
Good question. So we want to retain ownership of some level, and a couple options: joint venturing the project, letting another group do the drilling so that we don't take any dilution in our company, or we can, as you said, spin it out. If we're waiting to see, like the JDXJ as an index, which is gold junior stocks. Once that starts to move, that would be a catalyst for a spin out. I think at that point we would spin it out. Existing shareholders would receive a dividend, and we do a listing with that company. But we're just I think at these gold prices, gold investors want to see that this is not just a temporary volatility on gold, that this actually holds for the next 3 to 4 months, and that this is long term. And I think hopefully at that point we'll see the JDXJ market rally And that would be something where we would consider at that time to spin out.
Then, for my view, I think the gold project, when you look at the old data and so on, maybe has more value than your whole company now. So it's
well, yeah. I mean, if you use $30 an ounce to value an inferred, or like the ounces, we think we've got a minimum of 100,000 ounces at 8 grams per ton. So to your point, yeah, the market cap value of that gold is higher than the company. We know that. Yeah.
okay. Judson, thank you for the first introduction to your company. Good luck all with the permitting, with the environmental stuff. I know exactly that is some boring stuff, but you must do it. It's important, and hopefully we see also a higher lithium price soon. Then the market is very depressed, and all the lithium stocks are not doing well in the last 6 to 9 months. But especially in Europe, we see this the AV revolution is not you cannot change this. It's on the way. I drive a EV car in Europe is perfect. I understand this in Canada when you have more land and you drive 2 hours, 3 hours, it's a different story. But when you live in a town or close to a town, it's a perfect vehicle for the environment and also for the people who drive the car, I must say. Thank you for your time. It was really a great update. Oh, great first introduction, I must say. Das war ein Update zu Rover Critical Minerals. Die sind Lithium. Spannend ist nahe Las Vegas, ungefähr eine Stunde nur von Las Vegas entfernt. Und es ist eine Art, wie man Lithium gewinnt. Und zwar, es ist weder aus einer Sohle, also aus Brine, noch aus Hard Rock. Es ist eigentlich Soft Rock. Ist Claystone, es ist also, wie heißt das auf Deutsch? Lehm eigentlich, ja. Und man sieht auch die Fotos, wenn man sich das anschaut, das ist quasi, sie können, das ist mehr so es wird mehr so eine Art Schottergrube, die man abbaut, sehr poröses Gestein, die dann das Lithium drinnen hat, und dadurch sind auch die Kosten relativ überschaubar. Er hat zwar gesagt, sie sind natürlich dadurch, dass sie eine Stunde ungefähr von Las Vegas entfernt sind, haben sie natürlich höhere Environmental Standards, und es ist vor allem 350 Meter unter der Erde ist ein Flusslauf, weiß man, dass er ein Wassersystem ist, und da muss man das vor allem monitoren, wo kommt es hin, wo geht es hin, wobei die Mine eigentlich oberhalb dieses Wasserlevels ist. Das heißt, man kommt eigentlich gar nicht wirklich dort hin, in das Niveau, wo das gefährlich sein könnte. Wenn ich mir anschaue, Umweltgutachten, da denke ich mir, wo gibt es da jetzt Umweltprobleme? Da ist nichts außer quasi Wüste. Aber es ist natürlich so, Umweltauflagen sind da, damit man sie auch einhält. Und von daher schaut das eigentlich ganz gut aus. Die Gehalte dürfen passen. Er sagt auch, die nächsten Schritte ist, sie machen erst die ersten Studien schon, Umweltstudien, die auch danach helfen bei der endgültigen Genehmigung des Projektes. Nächstes Jahr soll gebohrt werden, also schätze mal erstes Halbjahr. Sie brauchen nicht viele Bohrlöcher, denn sie können diese Bohrlöcher sehr weit auseinandersetzen, weil einfach, das ist ein altes Becken, ein Seebecken quasi, wo das quasi sehr durchgehend dieselbe Konstellation ist, also dieselbe Mineralisierungszusammensetzung, und dadurch brauchen sie relativ wenig Bohrlöcher. Die Bewertung ist lächerlich, 2 Millionen, unter 2 Millionen. Also das ist absolut gar nichts. Was sehr spannend ist, sie haben 2 Family Office, die bei ihnen investiert sind. Der eine ist Präsident, der andere ist normaler Direktor, die das quasi auch finanzieren. Also es hoffentlich sollte beim Geld kein Thema sein. Das eine sind aus Norwegen, die anderen sind Australier. Australier wissen wir von anderen Projekten, das ist immer gut, wenn man die Australier an Bord hat, denn die machen eigentlich den Lithiumsektor, die treiben den voran. Die Bewertung ist, man sieht ungefähr 2 Millionen Marktkapitalisierung, das ist nichts. Was auch spannend ist, sie haben noch andere Projekte, ein Zink-Kupfer-Lithium-Projekt, über das haben wir nicht gesprochen, und sie haben eigentlich ein hochgradiges Goldprojekt, da haben sie vor Jahren einfach gebohrt, da waren es auch 2020 also das höchstgradigste Bohrloch, was sie haben, und das wollen sie aber möglicherweise verwerten, entweder Joint Venture oder sonst irgendwas, und das wollen sie dementsprechend auch zur Finanzierung ihres Projektes verwenden. Jedenfalls wollen sie da kein neues Geld reinstecken, sondern sie wollen sich konzentrieren aufs Lithium. Interessante Sache, Lithiummarkt ist momentan am Boden, muss man so sehen. Wenn dort eine Wende kommt, ist das natürlich ein sehr interessanter Play. Mal schauen, was da dementsprechend rauskommt die nächsten Wochen, Monate, welche News auch Flow dementsprechend ist. Bin gespannt. Ja, das war's. Heute ist der 4.4.2024. Sehr viele Vierer drinnen. Das war's von Rover Critical Minerals. So, tschüss und baba, pfiat euch. Judson, thank you for your time and good luck with all the upcoming events by the company.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.